Hello, in this video we are going to go in depth with pseudocode. We are going to look at the first steps of pseudocode, that is understanding the structures called input-output as well as assignment. What we can agree on is once in a while your program needs to get data from the user. The process of getting data from the user is called input. So this is where input comes in. When you type data on your keyboard so that the program can use that data, you are inputting data into the program. Now, the data that you provide to programs needs to be stored in variables. So let's suppose the variable is called mark. Then you put the back arrow. This is called the assignment operator. So your mark might be 98. You are taking this value and you are storing it in a memory location called mark. This is called assignment. After assigning data or values to variables, you might want to print that data. That is where output comes in. We use display to output data. Let's take this information and use it in an example. Our program begins, we use this word begin to just indicate the beginning of a program. After begin, we ask the user to give us their name. So input name, the user is going to input the name. The user is also going to be asked to input their birth year. So they input their birth year. See, we can now calculate the age of this person by saying 2025 minus the birth year. We are going to take the answer from 2025 minus birth year and we assign it using that assignment operator. If you can see it, it's right here. We assign the answer to a variable called age. Then we display the name, hello, Joe. We display again your age, then we indicate the age. This is how input works. If you want to input a value, you simply write input followed by the name of the variable which is going to accept or store the input. In this case, it was name, like that. So that's basically how input, assignment, and output works. Another example, when you are getting values from the user, you write input followed by the variable. These are 3 examples showing how to get one value. Sometimes you might want the user to input more than one value, so you say input, then you put the first variable, put a comma, the second variable. You are asking the user to provide the first value. It's going to be stored in mark 1, maybe it's 99. Then the second value is going to be stored in mark 2, maybe it's going to be 95. So you can ask the user to input more than one value in just one line of code. Let's make sure those values are of the same data type. If you don't know what a data type is, very soon I'm going to take you through a lesson on data types. So let's So in an example showing input and action, our program begins, we get first name, we get last name, and we display first name plus, then we have this is space plus last name. Let's talk about that plus a little bit. This plus is being used as a join. So if the first name was Joe, when we say plus, we are saying join first name with space. So there's going to be some space here. Then the last name, maybe it's Biden. So you are joining again the space and the last name, join again. In programming, it's called concatenation. String concatenation. You cannot add strings, you cannot add names. So the plus is being used as a way of joining strings or joining what is in first value and space and last value. All right, so it's as simple as that. We close our program with an AND. Let's see if there is another one. All right, so there is our program. This is assignment. We are not getting a value from the user. We as the programmers are giving the value to store in the variable called score. So it's basically the same as saying assign 85 to a variable called score. Assign a value of pass to a variable called grade. So we are going to do some calculation. The answer of this calculation is going to be assigned to the variable called AVG, just average. And this is another assignment. We are updating score. So we are saying assign the new value of total to be the old value of total plus score. It's like if you have 5 points and you make a new score of 2, now the new total is going to be 7. So this is updating which is happening here. And this is another example of updating. When you are updating by 1, we say you are incrementing. Very fancy word. Very fancy words. Updating, incrementing, assignment. But just get used to working with them very casually. Don't be intimidated by the big words, just in case if you are. All right. So that's assignment there. Then we want to do a division. So this one is actually bringing something interesting. We want to do a division. 17 divided by 5. Our answer is going to be 3 remainder 2. If you punch in the calculator, you get something like 3 comma this and that. We want it as 3 remainder 2. So how do we do that? We have what is called a function. And our function in this case is called mod. What mod does is it gives you the remainder of a division. So if you say 17 mod 5, the answer that you get is 2. It's like you say 17 divided by 5. What remainder do you get? Mod's purpose is to give you the remainder. So if you say remainder is equal to 17 mod 5, it means remainder is going to be 2. It's a function. We are going to look at functions in a little bit more detail later. Then we have quotient. If I say 17 divided by 5, the answer is 3, remainder 2. The 3 is the quotient, the main answer, not the remainder, the main answer. To get the quotient, we use a function called a div. So 17 div 5 is more like you saying, give me the remainder if you divide, my apologies. Give me the main answer when you divide 17 and 5. Mod is for remainder, div is for the main answer. All right, so that is assignment. Then display. Display is used when you want to output or display some information. So we are going to display student, maybe Joe. Mark 1, 98. Mark 2, 95. Average, whatever you get there. So display, what you do is you write the word display like this, followed by whatever you want to display. That's how. All right, so that's it for basic understanding of pseudocode, input, assignment, and output. Remember input, remember the assignment operator, and remember the display.